Namaste, my friends. This is your host, E.T. Welcome, Zenith, to another episode of Archetypes of the Zodiac. Yesterday I did Virgo. If you haven't already, go watch Virgo. Interesting video there. And today we're moving along the wheel and I will be talking about Libra. The Libra archetype. What a pleasant energy. Everybody loves Libra. It's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. It is Aphrodite in the air. Libra is an air sign. And more than that, Libra is a cardinal air sign, so it's a creative air sign, very artistic. I haven't talked about Taurus yet, but briefly, Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, goddess of wealth, goddess of values, relationships, sensuality, all things pertaining to the senses, right? Touch, taste, sight, smell. It's through these stimulations that we perceive our third dimensional reality. And this is the domain of Venus. She speaks to us through sensuality. And specifically, when we look at Libra, we're talking about the air. So we're talking about music. We're talking about the vibe. We're talking about the tone of voice. We're talking about aesthetic. As in how things look, symmetry. Beauty, fairness to the eye. These are some of the domains of Libra. Libra is very socially conscious. She is, I like to say, graceful. She has a lot of social gracefulness. Her opposite, Aries, is a little brash, excuse me. Libra can have a hard time making a decision because they don't want to step on anyone's toes. They live for harmony. This is very important because this is Venus. It's about harmony. It's about musical harmony, third, fifth, fourth, etc. It's about relationship harmony, how we relate to one another. And Libra Libra abhors arguments and negativity, in the sense that they want to keep things graceful. They want to keep things pleasant. So it's all about the air. It's all about the vibe. It's all about the aura. It's all about the energy, Virgo is much more detail-oriented. Libra takes a step back. It's more of a big picture kind of thing. They're not as earthy. They are a little more ethereal. Lightness. Copper is the metal that rules Venus, or I should say Venus rules copper. I think I have some for you, yes. Ooh, copper wrap. So, copper is antibacterial. It is, you'll notice people will wear copper to heal ailments. Our skin absorbs it. It's a very fantastic metal and it's very beautiful. And so it is associated with Venus, just as a side note. So they're very much into the unseen beauty, or I shouldn't say unseen, but the air, right? It is seen. You can see it. That's Libra. She's beautiful, right? She's the goddess, Aphrodite incarnate. And she is, interested in style, interested in fashion. She is interested in aesthetic and all things pleasing to the senses. Taurus is a little more earthy, right? As in, give me the money, touch me kind of thing. Libra isn't far off, but it is more, like I'm saying, the air, the music. Lots of incredible performers with Libra placements, especially if Taurus is your ascendant and your 5th house is Libra. Hopefully I did that right. If your 5th house is Libra, then that's Venus ruling over the creativity, and it's quite a good placement for performers, I will say. Libra, the opposite of Libra is Aries, who's very decisive. He is ruled by Mars, the opposite of Venus. It's a warrior. It's something that's gonna, be polarizing or, show up in a way that isn't necessarily concerned what other people think. Mars is here to do battle. Libra is the opposite. Libra is not here to do battle. Libra is here, like I say, to harmonize. So they're incredible hosts. They're incredible artists. Libra is so pleasant to even look at or to associate with. Libra is so nice. And certainly gifts in the aesthetic realm, as far as design, as far as visual art, as far as, even just, all things where you would need to harmonize. And it really depends on what planet goes in there, because the downside, like I'm saying to Libra, is the opposite of Aries, right? Where it can't make up its mind. It doesn't want to step on anyone's toes. So it ends up being a little indecisive, which can be maddening, as well as, it can be a disservice. So, and I would say it's because they don't want conflict. They abhor conflict. They abhor disharmony. If anything, Libra really, and it's hard to do. This is why these people can be kind of, what is the word? Fickle. Not standing in one place and holding their ground, because they'd rather harmonize than be so stuck in their viewpoint or stuck in their ego than some of the other signs like Aries or like, other more decisive signs. So moving forward with Libra and Venus, traditionally the house ruled by Libra is going to be the 7th house, which is all about marriage. It's all about partnerships. And it doesn't have to be romantic partnerships. The 7th house is the other, okay? It is me and you right now. This is 7th house. It's where we show up. It, it does rule business. It does rule over all relationships. The 1st house is self, Aries, I am. The 7th house is the other. It doesn't have to, see, what I'm trying to say is that they're so involved with the other that they can certainly lose themselves. And it's the perfect balance to the 1st house, and so they're more concerned with harmony. 7th house is all relationships. It's not just the house of marriage, and like I say, it's not just about romantic partnerships. It is entwined with how we show up in the world, people see our rising, right? You notice, whatever, this is how I show up, and this is my mask, this is my rising, this is the mouthpiece of the chart. But then when it's all said and done, when I hit off on the video, when, after we have our interaction, in real life or whatever, what you're left with is the descendant with the 7th house cusp, and this can differ between people based on what planets are in your 7th house. Okay? It really just depends. You can have a different flavor, but what I'm saying is that the ascendant, the 1st house, is how you show up. But then after you leave and after the interaction is over, what you're left with is that descendant. That's your taste in your mouth, and it's quite interesting. It makes me think of one of my friends or someone, an acquaintance or something. They have Pisces rising, right? So they're showing up in this kind of a messy way, kind of a artistic way, kind of like a, what's going on? This person's kind of all over the place, Sometimes I'll compare Pisces to spaghetti on the wall. It's just kind of like, it can be chaotic, and not everyone will agree with me, and that's fine. I like to have my own little ways of thinking about things. But the point is, and this was I won't get into too much detail, but with the Pisces rising, you have the Virgo descendant, right? And this is always the horizon line, the horizontal line. And in a natal chart, what's below the horizon line, what's below the first and the ascendant and the descendant is kind of, more private part of the chart. The most private being the IC, the roots of the chart, the family, where you lay your head at night and such forth, the 4th house, Cancer. And then the top is the more public persona, right? So it's always a horizontal line is what I'm saying. But so Pisces rising will show up in this kind of creative and limitless and this free artistic energy that doesn't have boundaries. But for some odd reason, they leave you feeling like, actually, this person has their ducks in a row. Like the Virgo is very particular, and it's very analytical, it's very detail-oriented, right? So what I'm trying to say is that this is the balance between all of our charts. And this is kind of the magic of Libra, that ability to kind of harmonize with the other. It's all about the other, So even if you don't have any placements in the sign of Libra, you may have either, a strong Venus, or you may have lots of planets or a stellium or something in the 7th house, and that still gives you quite a Libran energy. As well as if you had, let's say your sun is in Aries, well then, opposite of the sun is the earth. How you actually harmonize towards others, right? It's beyond the self, right? So that will be in Libra. So there's always this balance, this harmony happening, right? Because Libra is known as the scales. I wonder if I'm saying this correctly, but I think it's Ma'at, and the Egyptian goddess who's weighing the scales. The point is Libra they want balance. They don't want extremism. That's for the other signs. Let Aries be extreme. Let some of these other signs be a little more extreme. I would say Scorpio is another extreme one. Leo can be extreme too. We can all be extreme. But Libra can be extreme in their conviction to not be extreme. They seek balance, if this is going to be like this, well then they're going to have to go this way with it, and really set the scale. So I believe in the tarot, their card is the Temperance card. They're really here, you know, they can have great discernment. They can have, when they finally make up their minds, if they ever do, as well as the ability to express themselves in a very harmonious way that isn't going to offend anyone. You know, this is really what Libra is about. However, they are attracted to the decisive, to the, you know, some of the more extreme energies, because they can help balance it. So it's all about the scales, it's all about balance, it's all about harmony. Venus is all about love, it's all about values. You know, what do you value? Libra is also money, it's also wealth, you know. Values, moral values, but also materialistic value. You know, and I would point more towards Taurus in the second house, right? The house of treasure, the house of values for actual money and wealth. But nonetheless, Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus, which is goddess Aphrodite, who rules over all these things. So copper is a very abundant metal, and it's a very beautiful metal. And, you know, Libras make excellent stylists, excellent artists, excellent hosts, like I said, entertainers, performers, speakers, presenters. Libra is, you know, gifted with design, gifted with aesthetic, gifted with the ability to have social grace. I think there's, I might be saying this wrong, but there's a couple different types of confidences. One being where you're sure about whatever it is. I'm sure that this video is correct about Libra. You know, that's one type of confidence. I know I have the right answer. The other type is the confidence to be accepted in a social setting, and this is actually way more wealthy. To not be hung up on, you know, 2 + 2 = 5, but to be more confident in your ability to show up in social circles and be accepted and loved for who you are as you are. You know, versus the more introspective, I'm right, the sky is red, blah, 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 you know. So something to think about. So pleasant, Libra. I love Libra energy. Fine arts, I would say. Fine arts. They have quite the ability and the mind for this. If I forgot anything about the sign of Libra, please let me know in the comments section. I think we're at, what, 10, 11 subscribers now? I'm so excited for this. It gets me so pumped to continue making videos. So thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, Zenith Mystery School, and showing your love. Continue showing the love by subscribing, by liking this video, by commenting, by sharing it to people, by booking a reading with me. You can send me an email at etastro77@gmail.com. I will put that in the description below. And I will see you all tomorrow with another video. And I hope everyone is taking care. See you.